Welcome to the Advisor Insights interviews. My name is Louise Brockman. I'm the founder and CEO of the Advisory Board Centre. I'm here with Certified Chair Sandra Poon today to talk about her insights into the market. Welcome, Sandra.
Thanks, Louise. Good to be here.
Yeah, great to have you. So, Sandra, I've known you now for many years as a chair in advisory boards, and you've got a great reputation in the market for it. Do you mind just sharing a bit about your background and that experience?
Yeah, not a problem. So I had to think about it today. I've probably about 25 years of experience in and around the consulting space. So I've got a background in originally as a business analyst and a project manager. So I did a lot of work in that space around creating projects, managing programs, portfolios, etc., in the technology space. And then I moved more to business improvement and process improvement. So did a bit of work in the Lean Six Sigma side of things. And then later on in my career, moved to the strategy space. So corporate strategy, organizational strategy, and sort of big scale transformation. And I think I counted last that I've probably dived into about 60 plus businesses where I've really dived into how their business works, their strategy and structure. So been around the traps, I guess that's the way to say it.
and tell me a bit about your advisory board portfolio. I guess not the specifics, but you know, you've worked in both all of business advisory boards as well as project advisory boards.
That's right. Yes. So being in the management consulting space, I guess I've been in the advisory space for a long time as well, with that experience. So specific advisory boards, I've been in small ones and large ones. So startup businesses, tech businesses, manufacturing, financial services. So in a range of those kinds of businesses. And some of those I've been a chair and some of those I've been an advisor. And I've also been in advisory roles for a range of businesses as well.
That's interesting. Do you have some insights into the differences in those roles, given that you've been sitting in different seats around the table?
It is interesting. The control freak in me loves the work of being a chair and having that really nice structure of how you engage and give advice and be very clear about what those intents are. But I also love that side of coming in as an advisor and purely with the expertise that I have. Just being able to share that insight and not have to direct traffic and think about all those things as well. So there are differences in doing that, and also being as an individual advisor, just being an independent voice. And I tread very, very carefully when I'm in that space as an advisor to say I am one voice. I have expertise in these areas, but this is what my opinion is on these things. So they're quite different, I find, and I do have to think carefully about how I interact with the businesses when I'm wearing each of those hats.
So being an advisor in multiple jurisdictions, it's an art and a science. So what do you see are the common sort of, I guess, skills that you apply to the role of an advisor, irrespective of the environment that you're in?
I guess a couple of the key things that I think of is understanding the business that you're dealing with. You can give advice about lots of things, and I'm sure that in the audience we've got lots of people who've got years of experience in lots of different businesses, and you feel like you can give advice, but when you can't. When it's not your sweet spot, it's not your critical area of expertise, you would think carefully about how to do that. So being careful in that space is pretty important. So being able to know the business is another one. So how well do you know what that business, its structure, its strategy, what are the things around it that are around how it wants to grow, the industry sector that it's in. So knowing those things is really important and in understanding that. And then being able to give the right advice that's valued at the time they need it. I've also learned that I've often given too much advice too early on and gone, you could solve all of these things. And it's just literally too much for the business to handle at that time. And being able to read what they need at the time that they need it is also a challenge. So there's definitely an art in that too.
Because you've got to meet them where they are, don't you? It's not about what you know, it's about what they know and what they're willing to do.
Yeah, and that's a really interesting comment because, I think I was, guilty of that years ago when I was first consulting. It's like, I want to tell you as much as I know and how much I can help you, when the other way around is it's, as you develop that that experience and that, you know, the subtleties around what's required in meeting them where they are is really important, because sometimes they just won't hear it, and that value gets lost.
How do you stop yourself from going over that mark, Sandra?
Gosh, sometimes I probably don't. Some of my clients might say that, but it is, it's a constant learning and a self-evaluation process. So you can only, you know, a person that worked in healing once said to me, you can only heal yourself. So if you are self-aware enough of what you can and can't do, and reflect, you know, what's possible for the business and the client, then I think you become a bit more attuned to meeting them with what they need rather than what you think, which is a subtle difference, I guess.
Yeah. We just recently re-released the Code of Ethics for the Advisory Board Centre community. And I guess it's interesting understanding the ethics of providing advice around the boundaries of when you should and when you shouldn't be providing advice. Do you have any, so we talk about the currency of being current and only providing advice in your direct experience in the last 5 years. Do you have any signposts for yourself about, you know, where your ethical boundaries are?
I do, and that, you know, that currency advice is really important. So I use that actually as my own yardstick. And I remember when that was first released, like that was a very good indicator for me to go, do I have current enough experience? And in some of the areas, I even say if I haven't done anything in 2 years, then it's not current anymore, and I can feel it. So my yardstick, I guess, is going, if someone were to give me advice on something that happened 5 years ago, would I listen to it, and would I feel like it's not relevant anymore? So I'm constantly checking that, and I also validate with others as well. So, you know, in our professional networks, there are people that are similar to me and do what I do, you know, I talk to old clients and other colleagues, and I'm checking my thinking as well. So while I don't want to be in an echo chamber of thinking that my advice is current or you know, right. So I make sure that I actually validate internally and also externally.
Yeah, very good. Sandra, you're a big contributor to the advisory board community. I really thank you for everything that you've been doing as a community chair for the Queensland Advisory Board community for 2021. So thank you for doing that, and look forward to seeing your good work continue to make an impact on others.
Oh, you're very welcome. Looking forward to it.
Thanks, Sandra. Bye for now.
Thank you.